Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Jesse, and I'm back for another Wednesday comic book review. And we are going to review the next comic, that I promised you. This one. So, let's get started. Alright, the next part in the story. This is Avengers 315 from 1990, picking up from where 314 left off last week, and it is guest starring the Amazing Spider-Man. And this one says the enemy revealed. So let's get into it. As we tune in, the Avengers are all floating in the air in different poses. Spider-Man, trying to web blind the computer console, forgets about Newton's law of action and reaction. He manages to secure himself on the wall and still get a line over to the computer console so Captain America can investigate the situation. The title of this is Doomsday Plus One, and this is a 2-page spread with just the box and the debris to show you how truly alone they actually are. And judging from the context of the first page and the next one after this, it is Captain America saying the whole universe has vanished. Thor does not want to believe what he is hearing, and he says even in the throes of Ragnarok, he has never seen something as bleak as the universe blipping out of existence. Then we cut to Jarvis, who briefly reviews the acts of vengeance, and then does a brief recap of what happened in the last issue, where Thor takes the junk, has a blink, Star Fox radios the Avengers, Iron Man and Vision take off, and Thor and everybody get hit again. Captain America says that Ceres did indeed save them, and Jarvis wants to know what exactly is going on. Captain America doesn't have answers for them and doesn't know how long they can survive like this. Neither does Thor. Then Spider-Man gets an idea, and he says that he has some experience with cameras. So if he takes off the zoom and puts it back on a normal camera lens, we might actually see something that we can't see on the zoom. And needing to keep the story going, they actually notice something when they take off the zoom lens. Spider-Man says, look, there's a building out there. Thor says it looks like it's contained within a bubble. Captain America sees the sign of the company but does not recognize it. He then asks Ceres if she can scan the other building. As she begins to scan, she suddenly goes into shock, and she senses something that sends her into the fetal position, and she is barely mumbling. And Thor remarks that he has not seen her in such a state since she probed her mind deep into the negative zone. Ceres, in now her distraught state, starts speaking in her ancient dialect of the Eternals. Thor mentions that even he doesn't understand a dialect that old. Spider-Man remarks to Captain America, well, we don't know what we can do if we can't understand her, but we've got other things to worry about. Jarvis says that the air supply is starting to get a little low, and Captain America agrees. Spider-Man says, you're not giving up, are you? And Captain America says, not a chance. While there is life, there's hope. We now cut to inside the building, where the blonde lady is overjoyed at the amount of power that she has just discovered, and she can't believe that she now has access to it. As she tries to radio her spaceship, where Gunther is in, she looks outside to finally see the nothingness, and then her form changes, where she becomes a blue-skinned, black-haired Nebula that we all know, if you know who Nebula is. Nebula, a little distraught at what happened, goes over to the doctor and asks him to explain himself why the universe has vanished. And he said one of the possible side effects of this machine would be that it could cause a big bang. She slaps him and says, you fool, do you understand that you have to destroy this universe to remake a new one? Just then, she hears a sound and the wall blows open. The Avengers, consisting of Thor, Captain America, and Spider-Man, have connected to the building, and they are going on to the station while Jarvis sees to Ceres. Nebula discards her lab coats and starts shooting her wrist blasters at the three Avengers. Nebula sends blasts simultaneously at Captain America and Thor, and then tries to blast Spider-Man. In an amazing display of agility in zero-G, every shot misses. Captain America says that he and Thor can hold back her blasts. Spider-Man tries to web Nebula as she gets out of the way and blasts back at Spider-Man. While she is distracted, Captain America hurls his shield at her, but she sees it and blasts it away. At that moment, Thor unleashes a massive amount of wind by spinning his hammer in the attempts of pinning Nebula against the wall. She is pinned against the wall momentarily, and she notices that the waves of air are not consistent, and she starts to push herself through when the air is lessened. Blasting at the two heroes, the wind suddenly stops. Spider-Man webs her blasters and comes right at her. In zero-G and the strength that she has, she's able to toss Spider-Man off and shoot through the webbing on her blasters. Captain America says that he has himself in a safe position where he can study the amount of energy coming out better while she's distracted, and Thor tries to analyze the energy coming from the machine. Much to Thor's amazement, he is able to lock on to the flow of energy coming from the machine, but it is too great for even him to handle. He breaks off contact and apologizes for failing, and Captain America says, "You did your best, don't even think about it. But if a god can't handle this, what can?" Just then, Spider-Man happens to be laying next to the scientist who's responsible for the creation of the machine, and he wants answers. Spider-Man wants the answers. The old man goes into exposition mode as he tells them that he has given alien technology to be able to create the machine that Nebula wanted. He also knows a way to deactivate it. This catches Captain America's attention. As he's getting ready to tell them how to turn it off, Nebula blasts the man, possibly incinerating him. Thor, not liking what just happened, charges at Nebula. She blasts him, while Captain America finds one of the other guys who was working on the machine. Captain America puts his hand on the shoulder of the other scientist and explains, "Hey, we need to find a way to shut this off. How do we do that?" The other scientist says, "There is a chance if you could disrupt the power flow, it will shut down the energy going into the machine, but no force on Earth can make that happen." Captain America says, "Well, we have to take a chance." We see Spider-Man watching what Cap is doing while Thor is still engaging Nebula in battle. Captain America is reaching out for the energy output of the machine. He is straining against the energy that's pushing him back as he's getting closer and closer to the power coils. Spidey sees Cap reaching for the coils and asks him what he's doing. Captain America momently chastises Spider-Man and says he's got to get these power cables out and they have to do it soon. Spider-Man says, "I haven't been doing too well in the zero-G, but I can make this happen." He fires his webbing and says that after fighting Electro for a few times, he has non-organic, non-conductive webbing, and he webs up the power conduit and starts to pull with all of his might, saying to himself that he needs to save the world. He needs to save MJ, his wife. Spider-Man, using all of his strength, pulls out the coil, and then we see a picture of the building floating in nothingness, and then we see the world has been restored back to normal. Thor notices that the gravity has returned, and Captain America said it worked just as expected, and congratulations, Spider-Man, you saved us all. Spider-Man, elated by the compliment, says, "Really? You mean it?" Captain America explains that the pulse needed to work up to full power before it could utterly destroy everything, and Thor says the universe will live another day. Ceres, now regaining her composure, explains that virtually no time has passed, so everything that they did, it happened outside of time. And they notice that Nebula is gone, and Captain America explains since no time has passed, Iron Man and Vision are still on their way to the space station, and Nebula is about to be in for a surprise. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you do, give that like button a click. If you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to see more videos, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. I think that's the way it's supposed to work. Anyways, I love doing these comic book reviews because it gives me an excuse, like I really needed one, to read comic books. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm reading comic books to you. I love that. I mean, I can't think of a better way to actually spend time. Anyways, now I'm not putting a review of this. I want to get through all 5 before I finally do a review, because there's so much encapsulating into the storyline that we still have to get to. So, the universe has been restored, but Nebula is gone, apparently to the space station. Will Captain America and the other Avengers meet up with Iron Man and Vision? How will they fare against Nebula and her crew? Where is Star Fox this whole time, and who is the mysterious he that they explained about in the previous issue? Well, stay tuned to find out the answers to all of these questions. And until next time, I'll see you.